Alex Eala walked away from Wimbledon without lifting the trophy. On paper, it looked like the end of an impressive tournament run. A young player reached the fourth round, lost to an experienced opponent, and packed her bags for the next event. That's the story tennis usually tells. But this time, something felt completely different. The scoreboard said Alex Eala was out. The conversation said she was only getting started. Long after her final match ended, fans were still talking about her. Social media was flooded with highlights. Practice court videos kept gaining views. Filipino flags that had filled the grounds became symbols of something much bigger than one tournament. It wasn't just another Cinderella story. It felt like the beginning of a new era, and the tennis world couldn't stop asking one question. How did a 20-year-old player leave Wimbledon without the title yet somehow become one of the tournament's biggest stories? That is what made Alex Eala's Wimbledon run so extraordinary. Most young players need a Grand Slam trophy to create this kind of attention. Others spend years climbing the rankings before the world notices them. Some rely on fierce rivalries or shocking controversies. Alex didn't have any of those. Instead, she earned something far more valuable. She made millions of people care. When she arrived at Wimbledon, many fans knew her as a talented young Filipina with enormous potential. By the time she left, she had become a symbol of hope, determination, and possibility, not just for the Philippines, but for anyone who had ever dreamed of breaking into a sport dominated by traditional powerhouses. The most remarkable part wasn't simply that she reached the second week. It wasn't even that she defeated one of the tournament's biggest names and proved she could compete with the elite. The real story was what happened around her. Every time Alex stepped onto the court, the atmosphere changed. Crowds became louder. Phones came out. Practice courts filled earlier than usual. People who rarely watched tennis suddenly wanted to know when she was playing. Families across the Philippines woke up before sunrise just to watch her matches. Filipino communities around the world organized watch parties. Social media timelines transformed into live scoreboards. Even people who couldn't explain tennis scoring found themselves emotionally invested in every single point. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens when an athlete becomes more than just a competitor. She becomes a story. For many Filipinos, Alex wasn't simply chasing victories. She was carrying years of dreams onto the most famous grass courts in the world. Tennis has never been one of the Philippines' traditional global sports. The country has produced champions in boxing, basketball icons, and world-class athletes in many disciplines, but Grand Slam tennis had always felt distant. Wimbledon belonged to countries with long tennis traditions. It belonged to names fans had watched for decades. Then Alex Eala walked through those famous gates and quietly challenged that belief. She wasn't asking for permission to belong. She was proving she already did. Everything changed when she defeated one of the tournament's biggest stars. Suddenly, this wasn't a feel-good underdog story anymore. She became a legitimate threat. Broadcasters began discussing her seriously. Analysts started breaking down her game. Casual sports fans who had never followed the WTA Tour suddenly wanted to learn who she was. That's how stars are born. Not through hype. Through moments that force people to pay attention. Her victory wasn't just an upset. It expanded the imagination of what seemed possible. Children watching from Manila saw someone who looked like them competing on center court. Parents who had never followed tennis suddenly understood why Wimbledon mattered. Young athletes realized that the journey from local courts in the Philippines to the biggest tournaments in the world wasn't impossible anymore. That emotional connection became stronger with every match. Then came the fourth-round showdown against Jasmine Paralini. Paralini deserved every bit of her victory. She stayed composed under pressure, managed the momentum swings, and showed exactly why experienced players survive difficult Grand Slam battles. It was a high-quality performance from a player who earned her place in the next round. But something unusual happened after match point. Normally, once a rising star loses, attention immediately shifts toward the remaining contenders. The tournament continues. Headlines change. Television crews move on. This time, they didn't. People weren't only talking about Paralini advancing. They were still talking about Alex. Why? Because she had created something much bigger than a tournament run. She had created an emotional movement. The first clue appeared away from the main stadiums. Practice courts. Anyone can attract spectators during an important match. Thousands already have tickets. They're there to watch tennis. But practice courts are different. There are no trophies, no scoreboards, no dramatic match points. Players simply hit forehands, work on serves, talk with coaches, and prepare quietly. Yet Alex's practice sessions attracted crowds. Fans waited just to catch a glimpse of her routine. They cheered warm-up shots. They recorded videos that quickly spread across social media. That's not normal. That's star power. Then there were the flags. Filipino flags appeared everywhere around the grounds, in the stands, along the walkways, outside practice courts, inside fan videos shared around the world. Those flags represented far more than national support. They represented belief. For many supporters, Alex wasn't simply playing tennis. She was opening a door that had always seemed closed. Every service game carried extra emotion. Every break point felt like history. Every smile after winning a difficult rally became a moment thousands of people celebrated together. That emotional investment cannot be manufactured. It grows naturally when fans feel personally connected to an athlete's journey. Social media amplified everything. One highlight led to another. One celebration inspired another family to tune in. Fans shared childhood photos of Alex. Others remembered her years training at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Many admitted they had never watched tennis regularly before, but suddenly found themselves checking Wimbledon schedules every day. That is incredibly rare. Modern sports aren't won only on the court anymore. They are experienced through conversations, communities, and shared emotions. Alex Eala wasn't just winning matches. She was bringing entirely new audiences into tennis. People from Manila, Filipino families in California, supporters in Toronto, fans across Europe, viewers throughout Asia. Millions of people who suddenly felt like Wimbledon belonged to them too. That is why the buzz refused to disappear after her elimination. If her story had only been about one upset victory, attention would have faded quickly. If it had only been about national pride, international audiences might have moved on. Instead, discussions kept growing because people realized something important had happened. Not to Wimbledon, to tennis itself. The sport had discovered a new audience, and Alex Eala was the bridge connecting them. That is the real Alex Eala effect. Not empty stadiums, not collapsing television ratings, not a tournament falling apart after one player lost. The real effect was emotional. Wimbledon continued exactly as expected. Great champions kept competing. Historic courts remained full. The trophy still waited for its next winner. But one very specific kind of energy disappeared. The excitement that followed Alex from court to court. The families planning entire mornings around her matches. The new fans learning tennis because of one inspiring young Filipina. That energy couldn't simply transfer to another player overnight. It belonged to her. And perhaps that's the biggest compliment any athlete can receive. Because trophies can be won and lost. Rankings constantly change. Records eventually get broken. But inspiring an entirely new generation? That's something statistics can never fully measure. Alex Eala left Wimbledon without the championship. Yet she left with something many champions spend their entire careers trying to build. Connection, hope, belief, and perhaps most importantly, millions of new fans now believe that one day, a Filipina lifting a Grand Slam trophy is no longer just a dream. It feels like an expectation waiting to become reality.